Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to My Stove. I'm your host, AB. My Stove is a platform that promotes multiculturalism via cooking. Today in our studio, we have a very accomplished, highly accomplished political figure, Dr. Sadaf Jaffer. Dr. Jaffer was a former mayor of Montgomery Township, New Jersey, and she actually was the first Muslim woman to serve in this position. Dr. Jaffer is also a postdoctoral research associate in South Asian Studies at Princeton University. Recently elected on the Board of Trustees for the Indian Council of Humanities, Board of Directors for the New Agenda, founding members of Inspiring South Asian American Women, bachelor's from Georgetown University and PhD from Harvard University. Currently, Dr. Jaffer is running for General Assembly in Legislative District 16. So please go and vote for her if you want your voices to be heard. You can check her out on Facebook, Dr. Sadaf Jaffer, Instagram at Sadaf Jaffer. All right, so today we have a giveaway by Resham's Couture, Instagram at Resham's Couture, Facebook Resham's Couture. Shipping is within the US only for the giveaway, all right? And she is giving a beautiful shirt to the winner. So let's welcome our prestigious guest, Chef Dr. Sadaf Jaffer. Ta-da! Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Islam. Good to see you. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Well, first of all, Sadaf, I don't feel qualified to interview you, qualified enough to interview you. But at the same time, I feel so humbled that you accepted our invitation to be on my show, and you're promoting multiculturalism. So actions speak louder than words. Thank you so much. I think you are muted, Dr. Sadaf. Okay, let me just go back.
Sorry, I heard what you said, but it was a little bit choppy. I don't know if it's the internet on my side, but no, absolutely.
All right.
Everyone has their own expertise. You're definitely the expert chef here, and it's really nice to join you and to speak with your audience today.
Well, thank you so much. I feel humbled. So let me acknowledge our participants as they are very curious and they are at the heart of our group. Okay, so we have here Malik from UK, Assalamu alaikum AB, Tahniya Baig from Qatar. We're looking forward to this. Tariq Yusuf Mirza, Assalamu alaikum, Anna Mirza. Bira Bande from UK, hello beautiful ladies. 3 cheers for the mayor, Anna Mirza is saying. And Usman Nasir is watching. So here, Malik, welcome Chef Dr. Sadaf Jaffer. That should be the spirits, Sadaf. Sadaf, you're still muted. Could you unmute yourself, please?
Sure.
Okay, great. So we were introduced by Afshin Shamsi. So a big shout out to Afshin Shamsi for supporting my stove. Yes, it was possible via her. So thank you so much, Afshin. And I have been actually following you for the longest on your Instagram and recently on Facebook as well. All right, so let's dive into our questions and answers segment. Now, what made you get into politics? You're muted, Dr. Sadaf.
Yeah, I'm muting it when I'm not speaking. So I got into politics because it's something that we all have a right to participate in. I actually started with activism, and I think a lot of people from our communities, we feel very passionate about particular political issues. And so we protest, we write letters, we write to our elected officials, we make phone calls, and that's very, very important. And we should continue to do that. And you should feel very confident in doing that, because all of your elected officials are there to represent you and your values and your best interests. But I basically had an experience where I felt like no matter how many times I called my elected officials, I knew that they were never going to change their stance on certain issues, because they simply had different values and different goals than I did. And that was the experience that really convinced me that it was important for me and people who shared my values to actually be the decision makers. And that's when I started asking people, because I had never known anyone who'd run for office before. You know, I'm thinking about it. One of the things I've always done in my life is if I believe something or I want something, I just start talking about it. And the answers come to you. You know, people point you in the right direction. You do research. And so actually I applied for a program for women from the Democratic Party who are interested in running for office called Emerge. And that was really how I learned about how to put together a campaign team and how to file your financial statements and what's important as a candidate, how to reach the public. So that type of formal training and mentorship program is really helpful for women, especially from diverse communities, to get involved in politics.
Absolutely. And where there is a will, there is a way, right? So you were persistent and you wanted to get in, and you did. You found the right path, the right people, supportive people, and you never gave up. So here you are today. That's the key to your success. And diversity is extremely important. A person from a specific sect, it's very important, is appointed so that person can represent the current problems and scenarios of that particular sect. This is what I believe in. So how was it like sitting in a mayor's chair for the very first time, being a Muslim woman appointed in that role? Wow, that's an achievement.
So I hadn't really thought about the historic nature of my election when I was running or anything like that. And then once we knew I was going to become mayor, some people started asking, wait, has there ever been a Muslim woman mayor? We can't remember one. And so then they realized that, and they did research, they didn't find any other women who had been elected to serve as mayors. So there was a lot of media attention, and people came to my swearing in, and lots of cameras flashing and things like that. And I really thought this was a very unexpected milestone in my life, that I became the mayor. And sitting in that position at first, you know, it's powerful, but it's also, you're trusted to represent the best interest of the community.
Absolutely.
And my mom was there in the meeting, and, you know, people were coming up, even at that first meeting, we have this issue, we need this, we want to feel safe, we don't feel safe for this and this reason. And afterwards she said, wow, that's a big responsibility. People are coming to you and they want you to help them, and you have to try to figure out how you can help. So it definitely took a little bit of getting used to. The first time people would say, you know, hello, mayor, I would just look around like, oh, who are they talking to? Oh,
I love it. I would love to call you a mayor.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is empowering, because you have the power to make decisions on behalf of the community. You've been entrusted by them to lead the community.
Yes, I think it comes with a big responsibility, and people have lots of expectations and hopes from you or anybody in your position. So we are glad that you are here, right, to hear our voices and represent us. Okay, so what kind of challenges did you encounter? And I'm sure they're ongoing challenges, right?
Well, I think, you know, the biggest challenge is knowing what the limitations are, what's possible to help, just educating yourself, because you have to be a generalist. I think coming from academia, you become a specialist in one area. You know that area, you're the expert in the world, or one of the experts in the world on that topic. Whereas in elected office, all sorts of new problems are always emerging because, you know, you get to see issues that face people of all different economic backgrounds, of all different races, women, men, children. I mean, everyone faces different issues. And so you have to kind of educate yourself very quickly. So it was gathering that kind of pool of experts that I could turn to and say, okay, I'm not an expert in architecture, but could you guide me through this? I have a sense that something's not quite right here. How can we fix this? So I think it was figuring out who were the best advisors that I could turn to. And just keeping on course. I think that there are people who will want to throw you off course. They will kind of, there are people who are jealous of your success and they don't want to see you.
Always, and everywhere. And you can tell, you can pinpoint.
Yes. So just dealing with that and always staying focused that, okay, they're saying this, they're trying to do this, they're trying to distract me. I need to stay because I have a goal, I have a mission, and I need to stay dedicated to that.
I like this, to stay focused. No matter what you are doing, if you believe in yourself and you believe in your goal, that it's something productive and extremely important for you, just stay focused and surround yourself with positive people. That makes a huge difference, who are appreciative of you, who will guide you in the right direction. Okay, so how was your experience in Harvard, Sadaf? That is an achievement. You are a PhD in Near Eastern languages and civilizations. Wow.
It was amazing. I have to say, definitely. I think in my family, there were very high expectations. So I would say from childhood, my parents were kind of just like, you're going to go to Harvard. Like, there's no questions about it. So I was glad I could actually do that and fulfill their dream and their expectation for me.
You did pretty well.
Yes, yes. But it's a beautiful place. I think I obviously love higher education and universities. It's the context that I feel the most comfortable staying in academia as my career. So, you know, universities open your eyes, they provide new perspectives. Harvard does draw really excellent students and scholars. So I, you know, am very appreciative of the education that I received there and my colleagues, friends, teachers, and mentors. And, you know, I am always happy to especially encourage girls from our communities, from the Muslim community, from Pakistan, India, to learn how to navigate higher education, because it does open doors and opportunities, especially for women, for young women, to pursue their passions and their careers.
Absolutely. And times and things have changed. I see that women, both in India and in Pakistan, they are getting more into higher education, which is absolutely beautiful. And they hold really good positions in different firms and fields. All right, so let me see. We have Imtiaz Ahmed. She is watching. Hello, Imtiaz. Bira Bande from UK. What an achievement, Mayor Jaffer. You're an inspiration for many Asian girls. Rahat Latif, my daddy in spirits. He is saying, what a fantastic show. Okay, enjoying it. All right, so what is inspiring South Asian American women, ASAAW? What's its origin?
So I mentioned earlier that I did this training program for women from the Democratic Party who want to run for office. And I found that network to be so helpful because, like when there was an attack mailer about me that said that my ideas were dangerous and extreme, I turned to them and they're the ones who taught me, you know, just stay on focus, stay on your goal. Don't let them distract you. They're doing this because they're afraid of your potential.
Yes.
So similarly, there was this small network of South Asian American women that I would turn to and I would say, I'm facing, you know, this issue. And I think, you know, sometimes it comes from maybe men from our community who think that we should listen to them in terms of how to run our campaign.
Always.
Or what we should do. And
Sorry.
So there was an informal network of
Yes.
women that came together. We started having just like coffees and brunches. And then we decided that we should formalize into an organization because, again, in order to break through underrepresented groups, often these formal training and networking programs help them. So we started doing receptions and events, panels, how to run for office. And I think it's been a really promising group. And this group of women has been so supportive of me every step of the way. And when I need to make a decision, a political decision, or take a step, I definitely turn to them for advice. So we're hoping to see, and we are seeing so many more women from our communities get involved in politics. So it's very promising here in New Jersey, and I hope to see it throughout the country.
We have a huge population in New Jersey. And you're representing us as a community, so we have higher expectations. And you did a phenomenal job in the past too. And I think a bunch of you ladies, I know who you are around, you know, who are very accomplished themselves. So shed light on your book project. You have a current project, Secularism, Sexuality in Indian Muslim Thought. So just, you know, share with us a little bit.
So when I was in undergraduate, I studied Islamic history, Islamic thought. That was really my focus at Georgetown. And I wrote my thesis on the Al-Huda Foundation and their lessons and what their perspective is on Islam. And then I went to India for 2 years, actually, to study Urdu in Lucknow. And it was there that I was first exposed to writers from the progressive writers movement, including Ismat Chugtai. And I remember when I read her work, I felt like this is something I didn't know existed within, you know, Urdu literature. And when I went to Harvard to start my PhD, at first I thought I was going to be writing about Muslim women's piety movements like Al-Huda. And then I decided that I wanted to provide a different perspective on Muslim women's history, and one that just, although there are studies in Urdu literature about Ismat Chugtai, beyond that, there really hadn't been. And so it's about basically secular and feminist thought among Indian Muslims, and looking at the progressive writers movement and what their goals were for society, and specifically Ismat Chugtai, how it is that she depicted the lives of women in all their complexity, the negatives, the positives, as a way to push our society forward. And she definitely had a lot of these things in her letters, in her writing, about how important it is for women to be economically independent, how important it is for women to pursue higher education. You know, in her autobiography, that's really central to her story, is going to Aligarh Girls' School and going to Isabella Thoburn College in Lucknow and being an educator. So I think that it is really important for us to expand our horizons in understanding the past, because the more we understand, you know, it's not a new thing for women from our communities to become educated or to be writers or intellectuals.
Now,
I think that offers more opportunities for the future as well.
It does. And if we reflect back into the past, these women, they were innovators, they were the trendsetters. They did not have much support in their surroundings, and the research was very limited. So we have a lot to learn from them, but they had that will, they believed in themselves, and they were focused. So Lucknow, what better place could be than Lucknow, which is a hub of Urdu literature. Urdu is a beautiful, sweet language. So you know, you wanted to do with this. This was your interest, and you stayed in India for 2 years. Wow, that's amazing. All right, so how do you balance between family and being a successful politician? How do you manage it?
Well, I always say there isn't necessarily a lot of balance in my life. I think if you're very passionate about something, it can consume a lot of your mental energy and all of that. But I wouldn't be able to do it without the support of my family, and particularly my husband and my daughter, who is very understanding.
She's so cute.
Mommy has lots of meetings. So I think.
How old is she? She's a little girl.
She's 6. Yes.
She's 6 years old.
The first time I ran for office, she was only 2 years old. So this is
a big part
of her life. And she's pretty used to it. And she also says, you know, I want to be on the township committee, and you know, I'm the real mayor. So she kind of
I
picks up
saw her
these
pictures, yes.
yes,
And you
yeah.
are providing her such a fantastic role model and enriching experience. So maybe she is our future mayor. Who knows, right? Following mommy's footsteps.
Maybe. I mean, I think a lot of the people that I meet in politics, their
Yes.
families have been involved in politics. So they will say that my dad was the mayor or my mom was on the school board growing up, because then they are exposed to it. So that's why we need to put effort to make sure that our community is represented as well, not just now, but that's building something for the future.
Yes. And Sadaf, you'll be happy to know lately there are many Pakistani and Indian women who are coming into politics. South Asian women, I should say, they are coming into politics. Some of the people I know personally, some of the friends who are getting more active, which is great. And it is very important, and I'm very proud of you because you are proud of your identity, of your roots. And that is also a big key to success. So you can advocate uh, about that particular culture, that diverse culture, what you are, who you belong to, what you're part of. All right. So we have Shella Said Akhtar, Amuji looking very nice and tied here. Thank you, Shella from UK. Shella, hello, beautiful lady. Sadaf Hussaini from California, salams. What an amazing and inspiring show. Imtiaz Ahmed, we are so proud of you. Shabana Asim from London, this is so good, our voice being heard. Then we also have Marush Mirza is watching, Rakshanda Nakwi, Fiza Rasool from UK, good work, Dr. Sadaf, Vaji Mirza is watching. So, and Marush Mirza, hello, hi dear. Thank you guys for watching, and cheer for Mayor Dr. Sadaf Jaffer. So how did you meet your husband?
We both were actually doing our PhDs in the same department. So my husband's a scholar of Iranian literature and history, and I work on Islam in South Asia. And actually, he's helped me a lot with my Persian because I did have to study and pass exams in Persian as part of my PhD, and he's an expert in that.
So you both are scholars, right?
Yes.
And now you
yes.
have a daughter who's going to be, hopefully, most likely, is going to be a scholar as well.
Let's see.
An educated family, highly accomplished family. All right. So, Sadaf, if you get elected as, first of all, are you planning to run for the presidency or the vice presidency in the future? And if you get elected, what would you do differently related to peace, resolving some controversial topics and conflicts globally?
Sure. So in terms of my political career, I've always gone in terms of whether there's support from the community for me to run for a particular office. So same here with Assembly. When people knew that there was going to be a seat up, some people started approaching me and said, you know, we think that you would be a good representative. We would like you to run for this. And this is just, you know, my friends and supporters in the community. So it's not that I have a particular office in mind. I think that, you know, you go with the opportunities that open and what's available at that time. And if I don't think that my voice is being represented or that my values are being represented, that's really what fuels me. I think that at the end of the day, we need to focus on human rights. It should always come down to ensuring that everyone, no matter what country they're in or their race or their religion, yes, is accorded their human rights. And I think that even when it comes to diplomacy and foreign policy, that sometimes that some people's lives are valued more than others, and that's not acceptable. We need to always think in every context that we're assuring people their human rights. So that would be, you know, that would be and is central to everything that I do. And even in the state of New Jersey, civil and human rights and ensuring those is central to my platform, that people, no matter what their economic background is or their race or their religion, that they are given, or their documentation status. You know, we have a lot of undocumented people, or we have a lot of immigrants that are not citizens. they should have their rights too, and they deserve their rights as well. So, that's really motivating value. And it was why I got into activism, and it's why I'm in politics as well.
I agree with you 100% on the illegal immigration status as well, renewal, because this is a land of immigrants. This is what I believe in. And yes, sometimes people, they have their own limitations due to that, they are illegals, but why not make them legal? And most of them, they are very constructive to the society and contributing something positive. Also, and I also agree that we all are human beings, first of all, regardless of our race, our cultures, which countries we are from. We just need to learn to accept each other with respect, with tolerance, and with peace. It's a very simple thing to do, but I don't know why it has become so complicated globally. So I hope that, I wish you all the best in that. And we are always here, my stove, to support Dr. Sadaf Jaffer. So hopefully once you become a president or vice president, I hope you're not going to forget us, Sadaf.
Absolutely not. How could I?
Because we are coming after you, right? You have our back. My stove is with you. So we have, who else do we have? Ala Mirza is saying a big salute to the inspiring mayor. Tahmina Ahmed from Divas, nice discussion. Sahar Noman is here, salam. And Sadaf Hosseini says, what an amazing and inspiring show. All right. So, Sadaf, you have met quite a few political, inspirational political figures. Who is your top favorite that you totally, you got so inspired and like a mentor to you?
Let's see. So, there's one thing.
So politically correct.
No, I'm thinking there's one thing meeting people and there's another thing actually getting to know them. Yes. So I would say definitely that I really have a lot of respect for the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy. I met him first when he was running for governor. And there were quite a few candidates who were running for the Democratic nomination. And I asked him right away in this small group meeting, what should we say if we're going door to door for you to say that we want people to vote for you? And his answers were very values driven, that we need success for all people. We need to provide a safety net. So he's been extremely progressive. He's been a friend to the South Asian community, to the Muslim community in New Jersey. He has led our state during the pandemic. I have a lot of respect for him for that, because unfortunately we didn't have very comprehensive federal guidance in what to do when the COVID crisis was coming. And as a mayor, I know the fear that I felt and the stress that I felt. I can't imagine what he has been going through. And I think that he's managed it very, very well. So yeah, I have to say that I have a lot of respect for him, and that he's been very supportive of me every step of the way as well. And I think something that people don't think about is that elected officials, yes, they're in these positions of authority, but at the end of the day, they are just people, and they're trying to do the best that they can. Yes, and I really believe that he connects with people at that human level, and that he has done an excellent job leading our state.
He does. I got the chance to meet him very briefly at the Pakistan Independence Parade, and he was there with his wife. It was a very nice experience, though it was very brief. But he seemed like a people's person. When you're in politics, you have to be a people's person, right? Otherwise, it gets difficult. So tell us about your current, you're running for the current position, and how can we vote? Where shall we go? Just give us all the details.
Sure, yeah. So I'm running for state assembly in New Jersey's legislative district 16, and that includes parts of Hunterdon County, Somerset County, Princeton in Mercer County, and South Brunswick in Middlesex County. And the primary is on June 8th, and the general election is on November 2nd. So, please do vote, whatever district it is, and wherever you live. Every time there's an election, you should vote, because not everybody has that opportunity. Everyone who has the power to vote ought to vote, because the people who are elected are making decisions for you, whether you vote or not. And so you might as well have your voice heard. And, in terms of supporting my campaign, you can go to my website, which is voteforjaffer.com. You can follow me on Facebook at Jaffer for Assembly. And, just spread the word, let people know who live in this district. But I would say, wherever it is that you live, get involved, definitely vote every year, every election, every primary, make it a habit, because that's how you will make sure that you're being represented and your values are being represented by your elected officials.
Absolutely. So guys, vote for Sadaf Jaffer, Dr. Sadaf Jaffer. Don't forget, June 8th is approaching. Please go. If you want your voices to be heard, here is Sadaf Jaffer. And she's not new to politics. She has done a lot in the past in being in a position of a mayor. So go and vote for Sadaf Jaffer again. All right, so Sadaf, I know that you are not into cooking, and just for my stove, you agreed that you are going to share something simple, which is very dear to you and to your family. We can't thank you enough. And this should be the spirit, though you're not into cooking, but you were willing to cook for us on my stove. So what do you have on your stove?
So I am going to make a 1-egg omelet sandwich. And there's a story of this dish in my life. When I, was a student, and my mom would always make this. And when I was a student, I don't know, like, Americans put lots of eggs when they put like, so many eggs. And my fellow students were like, you can make an omelet with 1 egg? And that's amazing. They thought it was very magical. And to me, it was very normal. And then when my daughter was a baby, this was one of her favorite, like, finger foods to eat. I would always make this in the morning because, she would wake up at 6 a.m. and my husband sleeps in. So this would be kind of our special time. I would make it. I would cut it into small pieces and she would eat it. Obviously, as she's gotten older, and anybody who has young kids, they don't always like everything that you make.
I know. Please tell me about that.
So she, this is evolved, and it's something that she still likes. And now I make the omelet, and then I make it into a sandwich, and she loves having this for breakfast or for brunch or as a snack. So when you find something that your kid likes, that's a proud moment. So, I like this dish because it's very simple, as I said, but it's hearty, it's healthy, and my child likes it. So what more could I ask for?
We like simple dishes, easy dishes, and on top, we like your spirit. So bring it on, Sadaf. Let's
All right. So I'm going to take this.
From being the mayor, now being the chef.
Yes. So I'm going to take my computer to the kitchen.
Yes, go ahead, please. And let me acknowledge. So we have, who do we have? We have Resham, a proud merchandise from New Jersey. Birabante mayor should be hope for drastic social inequality to fade in future years. Do you see this coming? Okay. The mayor is going to answer in a bit. Let her cook first, and then she will get back to this question. All right. So in the meanwhile, how about, just to save time, we can do a giveaway. All right. So the giveaway is by Resham. Let me just see. And yes, Resham's Couture. Follow them on Instagram at Resham's Couture, Facebook Resham's Couture. Shipping within the US for US citizens. If you have somebody, a family here, that's not a problem. Now, the question is, what's Resham's Couture's favorite accessory on shirt? On a shirt, what's her favorite accessory? Come on, guys. Tamina Ahmed, nice discussion. So what is Resham's Couture's favorite accessory? And Sadaf, are you there with us? what is Resham Couture's favorite accessory on the shirt? And this is mostly for people who are residing in the US, or if you have families in the US, then it's not a problem. But out of US, it would be a little difficult. Okay, so I'm getting Rakshanda Nakwi button, Ana Mirza buttons, Fiza Rasool fancy buttons. What else do you see on a shirt? Sadaf, are you there? Knock, knock.
Yeah,
Chef
I'm
Sadaf.
Here. Just trying to figure out how to show you what I'm doing.
All right. Yeah. So please go ahead. I have posed a question. They are going to answer, and you go ahead. Dive into cooking.
All right. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Okay. So as I said, this is a 1 egg omelet. And so here's my 1 egg.
Yes.
And
you can do it, Sadaf. If you can be the mayor, you can cook an egg sandwich. Yes.
Yes. So I just crack the egg.
Yeah.
And
so Sadaf Hosseini says Gota, no Sadaf. Anna piping, Sadaf laces, pocket, nope. I will let you guys, I'm not going to give you a hint yet. So I will let you guess.
So what into this, I put a little bit of water and a little bit of milk.
Okay.
To keep it fluffy.
I like that. I put milk too.
Yeah.
To get that fluffy texture.
And that was a trick taught to me by my mom's friend, Uzranti, when I was a kid. So
okay.
It stuck with me. All right.
All right.
Put on the olive oil spray.
Sadaf, you're looking so cute while making egg. And you know, so many women, domestic women, they can relate to you. Yes, they can. Well, see, this is a mayor. Mayor is a mommy. She is like a normal person, like any one of us, and she likes to cook for her family, and nothing wrong with that. I think that's so sweet. And Sadaf normally doesn't cook, and she's cooking it just for my stove. So it's vote time, guys. We need to vote for Sadaf. Okay, so Fiza says brooches. Rahila Hussain. Hello, Rahila. From Sabi Photography. She likes it plain. Sadaf Hosseini beads. Eid Sar. Greetings from Toronto. Hello. And Ana Mirza embroidery. Sadaf Hosseini embroidery. What is there more than embroidery, guys, on a shirt? Just imagine. What else is there? There is Gota, there's embroidery, there is something more. Okay, go ahead, Sadaf. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, no, that's fine. Just waiting for the egg to cook.
Okay, great.
And I put the toast in the toaster.
Okay. Applique, Sadaf Hosseini says cut work. Well, you guys are getting there. What else do you think you wanted on your shirt? Something fancy, something glittery. Pleats. Nope. All right. So how often do you cook, Sadaf, this thing? Do you cook for every breakfast?
I would say like probably once a week. Usually my daughter has oatmeal for breakfast, but you know, oatmeal, cereal, egg sandwich, that's usually the different things she might want to have, or pancakes, things like that.
Okay. Sitare, you guys are close. Rakshanda Nakwi, Ana Mirza Sitare, Sadaf Hosseini sequence. You are very close, girls. What else is there besides sitaras and sequins? What else is on the shirt? You can use it in jewelry too. Necklaces, beads. What kind of beads, Sadaf Hussaini? What kind of beads? Your clothes. Ana Mirza, blouse. Gemstones, Rahila. What kind of stones? Come on, you can do it. What kind of stones? Normally I give them a clue. I just don't want to give them this time since, we have a little bit of few more minutes left.
So I made the omelet. I put it in the sandwich.
I said, yes, you said beads 2 times, but beads, which beads? You have to be specific. Yes, sorry, Sadaf. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I made the omelet. I put it in the sandwich and then just close the sandwich.
That's amazing. I love it.
Slice it in half. And it's all ready to go.
Do you put some cheese on top of it or no? Not really. Your daughter doesn't.
I don't, because she's a little bit of a picky eater. If you can imagine, anyone who has a 6-year-old probably knows that some of them eat everything, and my daughter's a little bit more. She doesn't want pepper. She doesn't want anything. Just simpler the better for her. So I'm just glad that, mashallah, she's happy to eat this and it's healthy. And it does remind me, I have the videos of her when she was in the high chair eating the eggs. So
yes,
it's a little bit of a sweet memory that she still likes to have a plain omelet with breakfast.
I am going to give the prize to Rahila Hussain. All right. So white stone, Rahila Hussain, she is, it's pearls basically. Ana Mirza, I'm sorry, I'm not giving it to you. I can do that to you because you won last time. So give other person a chance. So Rahila Hussain, I am going to give you the gift. All right. So Rahila from Sabi Photography is the winner. Awesome. Great. And Rahila plus lives in New Jersey. And now you live in Pakistan. So Rahila, you are the winner for Resham's Couture's beautiful shirt or kurta, and she is going to ship it to you. Rahila Hussain is the winner. Woo! Awesome, Rahila. All right, so that's great. So Sadaf, do take the picture because this 1 egg sandwich is very close to our heart. It's very precious to my stove. All right. And write the recipe and post it either today in the evening or tomorrow. We are going to cherish it. We welcome all sorts of recipes. And most importantly, we totally admire your spirit that you did it.
Thank you.
So, all right. So thank you so much, Dr. Sadaf Jaffer, for being on my stove. It was an absolute pleasure. So before we leave, there was a question for you. Okay, the question is by Bira Bande. Mayor, should we hope for drastic social inequalities to fade in future years? Do you see this coming?
It's possible. I mean, every step forward has happened because so many people advocated for it. So, as we were discussing in the 40s, in the 30s and 40s, 1930s and 1940s, even having girls get educated was controversial, and setting up girls' schools. And now, as we were talking about, girls are getting PhDs. So, every step takes a lot of effort and work. I think that we should always be optimistic and not lower our expectations. If there's things that are important to us, we should keep advocating for them, and eventually we will get there. We just have to work hard. So we have to all be a part of the solution.
Absolutely. Okay, the last thing is, because I had totally forgotten. Okay, the fact. All right, so it pertains to you too, Sadaf. You can chip in as well. So do you know Joe Biden's favorite snack? President Joe Biden's favorite snack, guys. Do you know that? So his favorite snack is ice cream.
Oh, nice.
His favorite snack is ice cream. This is by Jen Bisaki, and I got it from radio.com. All right. So have a wonderful rest of the weekend and stay tuned for next Saturday at 12 o'clock. Toodles! What do we say, Sadaf? Toodles! Okay. Bye, guys.